warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Fahmi bin Mazalan. Today, my groupmate and I will be presenting an analysis of the effect of zakat in developing the Muslim community in Malaysia. Let's begin with the introduction. Okay, for the introduction, zakat is one of the important institutions that providing basic needs and responsible in eradicate the poverty in Malaysia. Zakat also plays an enormous role in upholding economic and social justice within Muslim community. And lastly, zakat institutions can work effectively, and the distribution of zakat will show unanimous effect that can bring changes to the Muslim community and zakat recipient in Malaysia especially. Okay, for the objective of the study, we have three objectives, which is the first one is to identify zakat distribution method that being used in Malaysia. Secondly is to analyze a socio-economic level of zakat recipients in Malaysia, especially poor and fakir asnaf. And lastly, to formulate the effect of zakat on developing asnaf income. This is our objective of the study.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Syahmi bin Muhammad Shukri from IC 2105P. Okay, today I want to present about the zakat distribution method in Selangor and wilayah persekutuan. Okay, first we go for the Selangor. Selangor have a Lembaga Zakat Selangor LZS, which is the body who manage the zakat distribution in Selangor. Okay, there are a few program that Lembaga Zakat Selangor made for the asnaf in Selangor. Okay, a few program which is social development program, economy development program, educational development program, religious institutional development program, and human development program. Okay, social is for the society, economic how to make sure the asnaf can gain their economy, and education for their child, and religions for the incident like a mosque for the masjid, and the human development program is for the from the inside, which is we not just only to make sure the asnaf out of the kemiskinan, but also from the side that they will be the payer of the zakat. Okay, for the next slide, we will go for the Pusat Pengurutan Zakat Mawib ataupun Majlis Agama Islam Wilayah Persekutuan, which is have a few program also in the Mawib, maybe have a similarity with Lembaga Zakat Selangor. Okay, there are three I can list for the some of method zakat distribution that used by the Pusat Pengurutan Zakat Mawib. Okay, first, zakat distribution project, which is under this project there are so many things that from side of Mawib to make sure the zakat distribution can give to asnaf. Okay, second, always review the scheme and amount of distribution on the regular basis for make sure the zakat can fulfill the regular basis for the asnaf. Okay, second, property development and investment to make sure the zakat fund can always increase and make sure can give something more to the asnaf. Okay, for the last of my part in result and discussions, which is I have a issue and challenge. I have conclude to two issue and challenge. First, lack of confidence in zakat institution, and second is a method of payment the zakat to the asnaf, which is the lack of confidence, which is the payer of zakat lack of confidence to the institutions because maybe some bad view of the zakat institution or the management have something wrong. Okay, for the method of the payment of zakat to asnaf, maybe they not use the proper way to make sure the payment to the asnaf from the zakat fund can be arrived to the asnaf.
Okay, we will go through the result and discussion of the second objective, which is to analyze the socio-economic level of zakat recipient in Malaysia, especially poor and fakir asnaf. Okay, to analyze the socio-economic level of zakat recipient in Malaysia, I've been distributed into three categories, which is the first one is education level, the second one is healthcare level, and the last one is the public acceptance towards asnaf community or the zakat recipient in Malaysia. For the education level, as I mentioned before, we are focusing on poor and fakir asnaf. During our observation, we find out that poor and fakir asnaf are still at low level of education. For the healthcare level, during our observation, we find out that poor and fakir asnaf are unable to provide themselves with a better healthcare. It is because for them, it is preferred to fulfill their daily basic needs rather than healthcare product. For the public acceptance, we find out that during the previous year or the past few years, the community in Malaysia are not aware, or there are low acceptance among the community in previous year in Malaysia. But nowadays, people are more aware about this community or the importance of the asnaf community. This is due to the increasing of the collection of zakat fund among the states, and also the contribution of the non-government organization in helping asnaf in fulfilling their basic needs. Overall, the socio-economic level of zakat recipients in Malaysia are increasing in certain matters and remain same in certain matters. For example, the public acceptance is increased, but the education level and healthcare level still remain at the same level. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Haikaluddin bin Muhammad Musli. So I will be present about the finding and discussion for the objective number 3, which is the effect of zakat on developing asnaf income. So one of the effect of zakat is the poverty alleviations. So poverty is the situations that human or someone fail to fulfill the basic of need of life, for example foods, clothes and places. So poverty alleviations ataupun pembasmian kemiskinan adalah merupakan salah satu usaha yang dijalankan oleh institusi zakat untuk pastikan golongan asnaf, terutamanya golongan asnaf fakir dan miskin ini dapat keluar daripada kepompong kemiskinan. So pada setiap tahun institusi zakat ni akan mensasarkan jumlah golongan asnaf yang dapat keluar daripada kemiskinan ni. Sebagai contoh, LZS ataupun Lembaga Zakat Selangor pada tahun 2020 dia menyasarkan ataupun dia target bahawa golongan seramai 2000 golongan asnaf dapat keluar daripada kepompong kemiskinan tu. Okey, untuk pastikan poverty alleviation ni sukses, zakat institution perlu pastikan atau membantu asnaf ni untuk generate income. So salah satu yang boleh dilakukan oleh zakat institution iaitu perlu membantu asnaf ni untuk menjadi seorang entrepreneur. So apabila asnaf mempunyai income dia yang banyak ataupun yang tersendiri, secara tidak langsung dia boleh membantu asnaf ni untuk keluar daripada kepompong kemiskinan. So secara kebiasaannya zakat institution dalam membantu asnaf untuk menjadi entrepreneur, zakat institution ni dia akan menyediakan capital assistance kepada golongan asnaf tu. So capital boleh jadi dalam bentuk cash ataupun peralatan yang boleh digunakan oleh asnaf dalam perniagaan mereka. Contohnya seperti peralatan mesin jahit ataupun sebagainya. Okey, yang kedua, zakat institution perlu menyediakan program-program yang berkait rapat dengan bisnes. Sebagai contoh, training, marketing and finance management. Sebabnya seperti yang kita ketahui, asnaf ni adalah mempunyai kurang berpengalaman dalam menguruskan hal-hal yang berkaitan dengan bisnes. So zakat institution perlu monitor ataupun kawal ataupun lihat bisnes asnaf ni sampailah asnaf tu berjaya menjadi seorang entrepreneur. And lastly, apabila asnaf ni menjadi entrepreneur, so secara langsung mereka dapat menjana income yang boleh membantu mereka keluar daripada golongan asnaf iaitu fakir dan miskin. And then apabila seorang asnaf juga mempunyai income, dia boleh membantu golongan asnaf yang lain dengan menjadikan dirinya sebagai pembayar, salah seorang pembayar zakat kepada zakat institution. Seperti yang kita ketahui, zakat institution akan menggunakan duit-duit zakat ini untuk membantu golongan-golongan asnaf yang lain. So tambahan juga asnaf entrepreneur ni boleh membantu golongan asnaf yang lain untuk menjana income dengan menyediakan peluang-peluang pekerjaan kepada golongan asnaf ini.